This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Ranger Consola standing by. We'll take caller 9844999. Ola, you'll play profile this in minutes. And we do have your headlines on the way 1 hour from now. But first, quick check into Mike Hawk for some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, the mayor of a town in France is facing some backlash over a bad April Fool's Day joke.
What did he say? I shaved my armpits? What?
The town is in a pretty poor area, and she pranked people by claiming a new IKEA was opening up with 4,000 new jobs.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Zap.
You've been stung. Why?
Look out.
Why would you do that?
This will be great. Let's get that out there.
Meatballs for everyone.
Right?
What are you going to do in Flint, Michigan? It's safe to drink the tap water. Just kidding.
Zap.
Facebook now says data on most of its 2 billion users could have been accessed improperly.
No kidding.
Zap.
Man. No kidding.
They also upped their estimate. They also upped their estimate for Cambridge Analytica from 50 million users to 87 million users.
No kidding.
Zap.
And Tinder users are also angry because a Facebook privacy update temporarily locked them out of their accounts yesterday.
Oh, man, kept them from getting laid. That'll really piss you off.
Right?
Hell yeah.
A 38-year-old woman in Florida had her ex-boyfriend over for Easter dinner and asked him to fix a leaky pipe in the bathroom. Then she dumped gas on him and set him on fire.
Oh,
Wow.
Jesus.
Damn.
Oh, my God.
He survived, but he suffered some serious burns.
Oh, I bet he
bet he
did.
did,
Yeah,
man.
he had gas poured on him, and he was set on fire while he was trying to fix somebody's sink.
Damn. That's why I don't fix people's things.
That's right.
Happy Easter.
Right?
Let that be a lesson, kid.
I mean, obviously that would not happen very often, but
No, it does not happen often.
I was to say, I think showing up on a major holiday to the ex is probably a questionable call.
It
It's
is.
a setup.
It is.
Yeah.
And why isn't there other family there to, like, in your solo? It's just you two.
That's where you need Admiral
Yeah, it's
Akbar.
like, no, man.
It's a trap.
Yeah, if there's like
It's a trap.
20 family members there, maybe you got a safety zone, but not just one-on-one, apparently.
Or they all light you on fire.
Yeah, exactly.
What did
Could
he
be.
do?
I tried to fix a sink.
Right? Either he was fixing it really badly, or there is actually some history here.
Well, I think he probably...
Yeah, but
I
if you
think he-
did something so bad that it warranted or justified being lit on fire, you would not go to that person's house.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, I wouldn't anyway.
A 17-year-old kid in Florida has been looking for a prom date, so the Chick-fil-A where he works is giving him some free advertising on their sign out front.
Oh, you don't look like a loser at all.
Right.
I
Anybody
know
want
where
to date Derek?
I know where they're going for dinner. That's guaranteed.
I mean, has he got the hookup on the nuggets and Polynesian
He better.
sauce?
That's what I'm saying. He better. And if he does, who wouldn't want to go? Like, look, dude, I'll go to a prom. We'll hook up some Chick-fil-A and we'll go dancing. You know, like
I'd go, but get
Probably
the
only
bucket.
gets a 20% discount.
we'll get on that floor and fart some honey mustard.
I'll say this: Chick-fil-A, though, those employees put in work, man.
Oh yeah, it's great product. Mm-hmm. And plus, you know, you always got Sunday off.
Exactly.
That's true.
Someone's been raising money on Kickstarter for a saxophone harmonica hybrid called the Saxmonica.
Sax Monica.
I don't know which
saxophone.
part you play, but
Why?
You can only blow into one
It
thing.
doesn't.
You can only blow into one thing at one time. So how realistically could you even do that?
right.
I don't know.
That's
But
Is
what
that your
harmonica
saxophone
comes
that
in.
sounds like a harmonica or a harmonica that somehow makes a saxophone noise?
Or you could buy one or the other, if that's what you're looking for.
somewhere Bill Clinton's already playing it.
It's getting played.
The
Hey,
Sax
what are you
Monica.
saying? I like the way it kind of vibrates when you stick your tongue on it. You know what I mean. You know.
Find my skin read.
You know what I mean.
A 63-year-old woman in Florida recently got arrested for standing on the side of a highway with both of her boobs hanging out.
All right, woman. Hey.
What was she? She was just hanging out with her boobs out?
She had a sign that said INWOI.
INWOI. Hold on.
It means I'm not working on it.
W. Oh, God.
God
What
damn
a
it.
zap. What a piece of crap.
We just got Mike Hawk just zapped this man.
I know. All I was thinking about was boobs.
I know.
Thank you, PD. According to an online poll, 76% of us prefer Coke or Pepsi.
Oh, Coke.
Coke over Pepsi.
Sure.
92% like Netflix over Hulu. Which do you like more, Target or Walmart?
Target.
75%. PlayStation or Xbox?
Wouldn't know, but I'm guessing Xbox. I don't know.
PlayStation.
PlayStation.
56% of the vote.
So not by
pretty
much.
close.
Pizza Hut or Domino's?
Domino's?
Domino's beat it with a 52%.
I
think Pizza Hut's better.
They've come a long way.
I like Pizza Hut more, but Domino's delivers more.
I feel like
frequently.
Domino's is just readily available
All the time.
It's like Domino's to me is like McDonald's. Like
Sure.
there's one. They're in every town. They're in small towns.
They make a great pizza. And so does Pizza Hut.
Speaking of which, today is National Deep Dish Pizza Day, and according to a new survey, Americans like deep dish slightly more than thin crust, 51% to 49%.
And I'd say if you're going to do that, man, and it's the day where you go Pizza Hut. You go Pizza Hut,
What,
deep
deep
dish?
dish?
Yeah, for sure. Or Little Caesars has that.
They have the Detroit style.
But
Whatever
is
it's
it-
called.
deep dish.
But when I think deep dish, I think about Chicago like it's like eating a piece of lasagna.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I mean, so you're saying the traditional way of doing it? Yeah, I mean, if you're
Pizza Hut does
Pizza Hut-
deeper dish.
Right, it's a deeper pizza, but it's not deep dish
not
pizza.
deep dish.
I just never think of it as pizza. It always just seems like something different. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, a true deep dish pizza, I mean, at that point, like, you call a pizza a pie, but, like, that is a pie.
yeah.
Yeah.
A new
And it's
survey
delicious.
A new survey has found the hardest driving maneuver.
Parallel parking. You're not working.
I'm not working on it. I got no idea.
Well, some people I drive with is apparently turning on the blinker.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens. People always say why won't they let me over? And I would say, well, turn on your blinker. And then amazingly, it parts like the Red Sea. I'm like, see, a lot of times when people know what your intention is, they'll allow you to do it.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, why can't I taste this chicken?
Well, you got to eat it.
Gotta bite it.
right? You got to
chew
bite
it.
it, man.
Let's go do it. Dive in. There are two versions of the lowercase g, the simple one you learn to write as a kid, and the fancier one you see printed in books.
Yeah.
That's the one I do. I read this study. That's the only G I can't even. I actively never make the one you learn in school.
Really, you actually have the double closed one.
Yeah, always.
Nice.
I mean, any note, if it's handwritten, look at my G's, they are 100% that. But to me, like, I grew up with the typewriter, so however they did it, I'm like, that's the proper way to do it. Everything
right?
else to me is like slang writing. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Boom. Says a new study found almost no one knows how to write the fancier one from memory. Our own Steve the Thrill Hill proved that wrong.
That and the letter A. I do the lowercase a the way typewriter.
Oh, yeah. With the little squiggly on top.
Oh, no.
Not that.
What? What's your lowercase a? Oh, well, excuse me.
Hey, man, it's right.
How about E? How about your E's?
My E's are the same, just standard stuff.
All right, okay.
trying to think, hold on, let me do
All right, I'm moving on.
Yeah,
A woman in Washington
we're not
did an
listening.
Ancestry.com DNA test last year and found out that her father was actually her parents' fertility doctor.
That's a crazy story, man, because apparently that was also a doctor they knew somehow. I think basically what it was is they knew him even more closely than that because that guy knew that was his kid biologically. So when they said, like, hey, we're moving out of state or something, like, the doctor started crying.
That's
So, like,
weird.
that's a red flag right there, isn't it? Like, something's off.
Yeah.
Something's off.
I made a lot of house calls.
Yeah, never mind, man.
A man robbed a food truck
But
in
he didn't have sex with a wife, right? He just
No, he just
his-
used. It was just they were trying to get pregnant. She was going to be artificially inseminated. They used his. Basically, what they said.
Are you
was,
sure,
we-
or
no, we
is
want-
that the
we want
story
over it.
she's telling? Because if I'm the husband, I'm like, okay, look, man, there's one of two ways this happened.
Yeah.
Either, and look, she is going to say, oh, no, listen, he just...
Well, no, everybody
artificially-
was shocked by this because they specifically wanted a 6 foot, college aged, blonde hair, blue eyed spermatoza sample.
What does this dude look like?
Probably like
the farthest thing from it?
like Hitler's dream. You know.
Right.
A man is trying to realize his childhood dream of entering the Guinness Book of World Records.
By doing what?
Tell you all about it 1 hour from now.
Thank you, Mike Hawk. Headlines are on the way 1 hour from now, but first, the game is
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
Hey, Stephen Thrill Hill, can you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happens right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes a story a story. Hello, Randy. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hello.
Hola.
Hola. All right, Randy, you understand how this here game is played?
I'm not exactly sure how the game is played. I
Son
think it's a
of
black,
a
white, or Mexican game.
Bitch, I
the
just
same
explained it.
thing.
All right. Basically, it's the same. I'm going to read you a story. This is a real news story, okay? This actually happened. And people do stupid things. That's why the news is wonderful. At the end of the story, I'll ask you the ethnicity you believe this person is. It's the same way FBI profilers profile their cases, right? So here is your story. In this case, it's a 28-year-old guy. He's arguing with his girlfriend at their apartment in Altamonte Springs, Florida. This happened a few weeks ago. But at the same time, there were roofers putting new shingles on the outside. Well, as one of those roofers headed down the ladder, he went in front of the guy's window. That interrupted, in his mind, the argument he was having with his girlfriend. So the boyfriend got so mad about this that he shifted all of his anger to the roofers. He ran outside, threw a gas can up the ladder at him. Then he shook the ladder to try to make them fall. I'm being dead serious. And when that didn't work, he, of course, grabbed his gun and then fired 2 shots at them. Now, the good news is he missed, but the cops did track him down 5 days later and arrested him on several charges, including 4 counts of attempted homicide. The question is, this guy who had his argument interrupted and decided to attack the roofers, do you believe this guy is black, white, Mexi, or Jew?
Well, you said Florida, so I would think Cuban or something like that. So, but that's not an option. So let's say a black guy.
You say black guy?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look, no offense to our Cuban friends. We throw them in the Mexi pile. This is America. It's what we do.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a random thing, right? They're working on the house.
They're working on his apartment. It's not even his house. They're working on his apartment building. He's arguing with his girlfriend. Obviously, the guys come down the ladder. And it's not like the guy interrupted it. It's more the boyfriend noticed him there and went ballistic on the guy.
Obviously, he went ballistic because if you know anything about roofers, man, they can handle their own business.
Was it his gas can or was it the roofer's gas can?
It was his gas can.
Yeah,
I guess it's his. I don't know.
All right. Randy, what do you think? You going to stick with black?
Randy, I think it might be a crazy white
I'm
guy.
going to stick with the black guy.
Okay, final answer. We'll find out if he was black, white, Mexican, or Jewish next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bichola! You have entered the men's room.
Well, 5 takes us to Florida, and a couple who was arguing, and at the same time, the roofers are up on the roof, I guess putting on a new roof. Either way, they're coming down past the window, and they see the couple arguing. The boyfriend in the house looks out the window, sees the roofers coming down, and he just loses his mind, goes out, throws a gas can at the roofers, and starts shaking the ladder, and then he ends up taking a couple shots at them. Either way, after a couple days, he is eventually apprehended.
Yeah, and Randy, we asked you, did you believe that this guy was black, white, Mexi, or Jew? And in the end, you went black. So, oh, man, it sounds like a black guy. Oh, no, sorry.
White guy?
Mexican.
Oh. All right.
Okay. Now, for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Tim.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box,
Armageddon!
The Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
You're watching a sporting event, and it's exciting, right? Let's say it's NBA basketball. The game's tied. One team's dribbling down the court. They're going to have one last chance, right? Is it going to go to overtime? Are they going to win the game? But this is probably arguably the most important play of the game, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
But it takes 15 minutes to get down to that point. It's only 3 minutes on the clock, but it took 15 minutes of real time.
But you want to be there for that exciting last
very
bucket,
last
right?
second.
Well, somebody got a little excited over at ESPN and, listen to the last play.
Oh, Josh Hart to the rim.
No, pick up.
Comes off. We'll go to overtime.
They cut to like a 2 second, like a half second. Literally, he goes to almost lay the ball in or whatever, and then it cuts to a commercial, and you come back and he's missed it, and they're just like, "Oh, we're going to overtime."
Oh, wait, play that clip again. That's
right,
seriously
so the game's tied. I want to say it
2 seconds.
Yeah, the game is tied. He's driving down. It's the end of the game. Last play.
Oh, Josh Hart to the rim.
No, pick up.
Wow, man.
Comes off. We'll go to overtime.
I mean, he's coming down the lane.
He's at the rim.
Yeah, that's the last you hear about it.
Like, that's a guy, I'm guessing either he gave us 2 weeks ago.
Or he's brand new.
Oh, God.
He knew that first commercial had to fire out real quick, you know?
That's
you can see that video, by the way, over at the Men's Room Facebook page. Yeah, I know, it's great. When I first saw that headline, I was like, no way, it couldn't have been that bad. It's like, you couldn't have timed it any worse. Mm-hmm. So, rain delays. Rain delays happen in baseball all the time. Now, John Kruk, you might remember him from being an announcer. He's still an announcer. You might remember him from being on the Phillies for years. Krucky was kind of famous for having super long, almost like a mullet. He had huge chews and chaws all the time.
Played with one testicle.
Yeah, a pickoff play once cracked his cup. His athletic supporter.
But cracked.
Literally.
Cracked
and he ended up
more
losing.
than that.
Yeah, but from the inside.
Yeah.
But he ended up losing a testicle.
He lost one. He lost
Yeah,
one.
that's-
Gave one to the team.
Right, so this is John Kruk. Miles, you'll test. I think he's from West Virginia.
Kaiser, yeah, he's from
right,
Kaiser, West
he's
Virginia.
pretty famous for being like a nice guy and this
Yeah.
and that. And keep in mind, he played, I'm going to sound old, but he played in the 90s. It was a different era.
I will. I'll give you one quick one when you're done with John
Now,
Cross.
some people say he was talking about maybe watching porn. I don't know, but they asked John Kruk, what'd you do during rain delays?
John Kruk.
Well, I know we're not censored here, but I can't tell you what I did during rain delays.
Wow, it was that?
Oh, I'll tell you after the game's over. I can't mention it now. But let's put it this way. I wasn't watching any video of any pitcher.
No.
Crook, man.
I mean, I have a hard time thinking it's like a rain delay. Let me go to the dugout and get one going.
Mm-hmm. Crook, he in his hometown of Kaiser, they had a municipal ball field that was pretty dilapidated and falling apart. Nobody ever took care of it or anything like that. So he goes in with his own personal money and he regrades the field. They sod the field. They put up brand new fencing. Parking lot goes in and all this stuff so that, Little League teams could play there. The community had a place for their, because the Little League teams did play there. The place was just a complete asshole. Softball was played there. It was basically the only field in the community that you could go and you could use that wasn't part of a school. So he finishes all this stuff. He buys brand new lawnmowers for it. He builds a brick building to put all this stuff in. And then he opened up he started his own softball league. Now, the condition of the softball league was no matter what, if you played in the softball league, somebody on the team had to be drinking at all times.
Okay.
So, it wasn't that you had to drink, but somebody on the team who was playing had to be drinking.
Softball.
Yeah. So he would bring his truck, which is this big-ass truck, and have 2 kegs of Bud Light in the back. And my buddy Chad, who I went to college with, he played on the softball league. And Kruk would pull up. It didn't matter if his team was playing or not. This is in the summer because he's got a house here. And he would just pump beer and watch people play softball. And that's all they did. He would chew tobacco. They'd play softball, and he'd pump beer for everybody and just kind of hang out. Somebody would bring a grill, and the whole neighborhood would just hang out at the ball field. Then they put in lights. I mean, it's really nice. You drive by, and it's like, this is amazing for Kaiser because Kaiser's not really a nice place. There's nothing there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's just part of softball, especially slow pitch. I don't mean actual, women playing softball.
Yeah.
But, slow pitch seems like it's
I would think the
having a
rule would
beer?
be someone has to not be drinking beer. Like a designated driver.
Right. It's more like you're taking a cup out on the field kind of thing. Like it was a little bit looser than not. But they were still playing competitive softball.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I first started, playing softball, I played in high school, so that can count. In the springtime, a bunch of us would play slow pitch. But I remember being 19 and playing with a buddy, and I was like, these guys just ripping cigarettes on the bench, and he's like, yeah, man, it's softball. You want a beer? And I was like, yeah, I'm 19. I didn't say I'm 19, but I'm like, yeah, I'll take one of those beers.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's see. I enjoy a good nature show here and there. So I watched one the other night called Sharks versus Predators.
Mm-hmm. So Sharks versus whatever they pair it up with.
Well, that's what I thought. But I found out there's a whole lot of animals that actually eat sharks.
Orcas?
Really?
Well, orcas people know about, right?
Yeah.
People know also seals sometimes will eat...
like pup sharks? Or
Well, it's weird because seals oftentimes are feasted on by great whites, right?
Sure.
But they'll attack smaller sharks and kind of terrorize them. Seals look very friendly, but underneath those kind of pseudo smiles...
They'll kick your ass.
And they have tons of sharp teeth.
So what kind of sharks are they going after?
It's one smaller than them.
Tiny ones.
Okay.
You ever heard of the black tip shark?
Yeah.
I think so.
He's got a smaller cousin named the white tip shark.
Ah.
God damn it.
Yeah, I got nothing to do with that.
He doesn't really talk too much about that side of the family.
I mean, the white team's always like, no, man, we're the same size.
I'm playing tennis on
I don't
Sunday.
think so, brother.
It just matters how you swim.
The white tip sharks, they drown a lot.
Join me for brunch tomorrow?
And literally, it's just the tip.
I'll be late.
Right? All right. So what other animals do you think could eat a shark? Or let me rephrase that.
A squid, giant squid.
That's the only thing I've got, though.
All right. Squid wasn't on there, but the giant octopus was.
All right.
Oh,
I'll tell you that too.
Right here in the Northwest.
What about
Sure.
the sperm whales? Is that the one just F everything else in the ocean?
They do a pretty good job of ramming stuff.
There's some of that. That wasn't part of the special I watched.
And I'll tell you what, with those giant
I will say
octopuses-
the octopus though is crazy, right? Because the octopus.
What, a
Because
puss?
the octopus is very good at like he could just sit there and it looks like a shell.
Yeah.
But he's actually like waiting or whatever. So again, it's a smaller shark, like a dogfish shark, right? Like the little ones. I got a picture of me holding one. You catch them all the time when you're out fishing. But yeah, he'll just sit there, and eventually, when that little dogfish shark goes by, he just tentacles him.
And you know what he's thinking when he does that? He's thinking, this is just like the planet I came from.
Yeah. Well, you forget octopus too, right? Like, they don't really mess with humans too much, but besides their arms, which are super strong, they also, underneath, have a beak. Yeah, it's vicious.
We
All
like to
right,
call
the
it our
weirdest
pecker on
one,
the home planet.
the weirdest one were the moray.
Coming back for me, I swear. They said they would.
Well,
E.T. phone home.
The moray eels was the weirdest one.
Yeah, they,
dude,
they can take out a shark?
All right,
based
so
on their
that's why-
electrocution?
No, they're not the electric eel. Moray's that big
poison
ugly.
in the mouth?
It's just that big. So basically, he does the same thing. Like, he wraps around, and it's a spiny little shark, right? But somehow the eels figured out how to kind of avoid it, and then he just wraps around him and chokes him. But, Robin, close your ears on this one. But the eel is like a snake, right? So he's got to eat the whole thing whole. So I watched like 5 minutes of him struggling with this shark. He gets him and he starts eating him whole. But the shark was too big. So he had to
spit him back out.
He spit him back out. The damn shark ran.
Does another
swam
eel
off.
come over and do like an eel Heimlich, or are you just on your own?
No, literally, it went all the way down the eel, and there was just like the last fin hanging out, and then the show's like, but it was too much for the eel, and then he just kind of, it looks like it looks like somebody puking, and then the shark just kind of backs back out.
You think the shark's like, well, damn,
It's like
man.
when a deer crawls out of an anaconda.
The shark is shook, dude.
You think.
Right. Like, because there's this weird, like, he was just inside another animal, and not in a good way.
His life.
And then, right? And then he's just kind of, sharks always move, but now that he's been regurgitated, he's just kind of laying there like, oh.
What was the animal
what
we just
happened?
learned
I
that
got puke
the
on
weight
me.
still gets in the stomach and then it does something to just like make the animal puke it out?
Oh, it was it was either a frog or some kind of insect. And basically, like, you can eat them. So, like, birds, other lizards, you name it. And it, like 10 seconds after you swallowed it,
It goes and
it
poops in your
basically
stomach.
like farts in you, but its fart is super toxic, and it makes these other animals so nauseous. It was some kind of toad. So the animal pukes the toad back up, and like it just hops away.
Like it cannot be eaten.
I think the porcupine's like, yeah, I don't get eaten, man. Like, there's a better way to do this other than farting in someone else's stomach, you know?
That seems like an easy way, though.
Well, yeah, but you got to get eaten first.
Well,
I'm saying the porcupine's like, look, I don't even have slobber on me. You know what I mean? Like, you try to bite me, it hurts. You just leave me alone. Toad's like, you can eat me, but you're not going to like it.
yeah. Yeah, toads have crazy venom.
What is it about toads? You know, like, frogs are frogs, man. I know there's like the blue dart frog and all. But like toads, man, they're all just kind of gross.
They are. The sharks also, the funny thing about the show is they were saying, like, we're used to seeing sharks as the ultimate predator. So basically they're just saying there's enough people swimming in the ocean and stuff now, and everybody has better cameras. You can afford an underwater camera. They're like, we didn't know some of this stuff was happening, especially like the octopus. Like, that's brand new. They are like, this is crazy. Like, that octopus just ate a shark.
Nature's effed up.
Not only that, but Nintendo, I don't know if they were behind. They have robotic fish now. Have you seen those things?
Yeah.
And it looks like a Nintendo controller. I don't know if Nintendo did the technology on it. They very well could have. But the fish that's swimming, and now it's got a camera on it. It's robotic and all that stuff. And they're being able to swim with the school.
But they need to stop doing this stuff, man. Remember they had the robotic chimpanzee or some monkey, right? Mm-hmm. And then, so all the other monkeys are like, all right, he's weird, but he's cool. And then the monkey, like, fell out of the tree or something and broke. And these monkeys had a monkey funeral. I'm like, now these monkeys
they
feel
bought
bad.
it.
Oh, hook, line, and sinker, man. It shows all these monkeys, they do whatever they do when, like, a troop member dies. And I'm like, damn, man, it's just a robot.
Yeah, but they don't know.
They like that robot.
Also, the scariest thing to ever eat a shark, any guesses? It comes
the scariest thing?
Right, and it actively could eat a shark. It's a scary animal from a scary place.
Crocodile.
Saltwater crocodiles.
Yeah, saltwater
in
crocs,
Australia.
dude.
Yeah.
I didn't. You forget that they could swim in the damn ocean.
They do.
Right.
No,
Yes.
And then they
do.
go attack sharks.
It's terrifying.
It is. They're dinosaurs. They are living dinosaurs.
Yeah, man. You think? I don't know. I always thought sharks were top of the line. I was wrong.
They have that. There's this one picture. I don't know if it's like you can swim with this saltwater crocodile or whatever the deal is.
Oh, that one in the cage.
Yeah.
Or you're in the cage.
I mean,
No thanks.
yeah, it still doesn't look like
that.
No, right, yeah.
Dude, they had a crocodile on this show that was missing an arm, right? And legend had it that a shark had eaten his arm. And almost like Chubbs and Happy Gilmore, then they had video of this crocodile getting back and eating a shark.
Wow, the one-armed crocodile?
The one-armed crocodile.
Get out of here.
You know, like Chubbs.
You got to figure he swims a little slower than the
Well,
regular
remember,
crocodile.
Chubbs stole that gator's eye.
But they have a tail, so they swim with their tail. They probably can swim pretty fast.
Oh, hey, man, we have a correction. It was not a toad. It's a beetle that farts. So they're saying a frog ate the beetle farts in the frog's stomach. And then the frog's like, yeah, no thanks, man.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere that's a French dish.
Oh, yeah. We put the beetle inside of the frog.
Did you guys watch Happy Days?
Yeah, a little bit as a kid, sure.
You remember Pootsy?
Potsy.
Pootsy.
Jesus Christ.
We do remember Pootsy. Pootsy, I remember Pootsy.
That was the blackbird.
Yeah.
My hey, what's up, Pootsy? Yeah, Potsy. Yes.
Potsy. Yes. But that's just checking you guys.
Right, yeah, sure.
Well, it's Anison Williams, right?
Something like that. Anson, I think.
Anson. I know. I kept wanting to say Allison. I see the
You
letter.
called him Pootsy. Why not?
Right? You see the letter A, and then it ends in son. I just think Allison.
Hey, son.
Anyhow, he was on the Today Show with Megyn Kelly. She's still getting the most illustrious guest.
That's a ratings explosion. Jesus Christ. You might remember playing Pootsy. I'm sorry, my producers say Potsy. Allison, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Well, he's out there saving lives, man. Basically, he's made a cure for drowsy driving. It's called Alert Drops.
Alert drops?
Alert Drops.
How does this work?
Basically, he said he almost died once drowsy driving. I didn't know that was a term. I thought you just fall asleep.
That's what we call falling asleep at the wheel.
That's a horrible feeling.
All right. So a doctor and his family gave him this tip that said, hey, if you're ever drowsy behind the wheel, bite into a lemon. Number one, you got to have a lemon readily available.
Okay, so no Mountain Dew, just have a couple slices of lemon.
Basically, they're saying the sour taste and the citric acid would stimulate a nerve in the tongue that gives you a natural shot of adrenaline and wakes you up instantly. So this guy tried it, Pootsy, and said, said it worked. So basically, he made Alert Drops, which are out of citric acid and sour lemon water.
And you just drip them on your tongue, I guess?
Yeah, exactly.
Put it in your eyeball.
All right. Well, hell, if it
That'll
works.
wake your ass up.
Or it might be a good club drug, just drop some in there and stay up all night.
I think the important thing for him in this case, and I'm actually not being funny, he should not put his name on it. You know what I mean? Like, he should not be one of those guys like, hi, you might remember me as Potsy. Like,
Do you think if you saw Potsy, he would look anything like he used to?
Hell no.
No.
He probably looks like someone who would fall asleep.
What is Potsy's real name?
Anson Williams.
Anson Williams.
Anson Williams.
He comes from a famous family, right? This was the second cousin, the doctor that said bite into a lemon. That doctor's name was Dr. Henry Heimlich.
Really?
Yeah, the inventor of the Heimlich maneuver.
All right. Well, Anson he hasn't aged bad. He looks, he looks
about
fine.
the same, man.
Huh.
There he is.
What's up, Pootsy?
Pootsy.
Oh, hey. Oh, it's me, Pootsy.
Hey.
You know me from Happy Days.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, totally.
Vetting alert drops.
It's not a bad idea, and it makes sense.
Well, especially, too, man. A lot of people spend so much time in their car, or like, you live outside the city. Most major cities, right, are expensive. So a lot of people live outside of them. You spend an S ton of time in your car. But nobody walks around with lemons in their car, right?
It just doesn't happen.
No. If I knew somebody that had lemons in their car, I'd be like, you're not supposed to drink and drive.
I think they're trying to cover the smell of a dead body.
All right. We have
different friends.
Yeah, but neither of them are above or like on the
both
on
are
the up
illegal.
and up. Right?
They might know each other.
What's that say about us?
I know.
You got a lemon in here? What are you making vodka tonics?
You're killing people.
Yeah, you never know who you're gonna. You never know how you're gonna make your way in life. We were talking. Steve and I were at the bar a few nights back, and there was a guy sitting there, older gentleman.
It's unbelievable.
Named Andy, and he's like, not from town, and he's talking, and he assumes that Steve is a jazz musician.
Even told him, he's like, you know what? I went ahead and
was Catman,
stereotyped you.
such, and Andy-
I figured you're a jazz musician.
And Andy, he was just talking about traveling
What is
the
it,
world.
1940?
Right.
I guess I look like a 1940. See that pop pop is down.
And Andy said that as far as traveling goes, it's interesting because he's a senior, and he said, when you go to Asia and you do business, everyone is very quiet, and you are when you go to a company, the oldest person there is the one that is the most respected, that everyone listens to,
right.
and it's just culturally the way it goes. And then when you come to the United States and you do business with people, it's just a bunch of 30-some-year-olds, 20-some-year-olds talking over each other.
They want to the youngest person.
Yeah, they want to the youngest, better-looking person. So it's a different. But he does the little green sticks that you put in your Starbucks cup to keep them warm or keep them from spilling.
Keep it from spilling.
That's
we
when you're
never
driving
asked-
around.
Yeah, he spent all this time in his life doing all these amazing things, and the one thing that he does now is fill up the hole in a Starbucks.
We never asked what he did, but he goes, well, I've been an entrepreneur and all this. And so he reaches in his coat pocket and he pulls out like the little stop, right? And I'm like, well, that's weird. And then he's like, I do these. And so what he encouraged us to do, which kind of made me laugh, he said, listen, man, so like when you leave whatever major coffee place you're going to leave, I said, man, grab like 4 or 5 of them. And I thought there'd be some, and I said, well, why? He goes, because then they have to order more. He's like, come on, man. I mean, he was like, what are you, new? If you take more, they need to order more,
the
dummy.
Optograph.
Yeah. I thought there was something. And he's like, no, dude, I want them to order.
You probably could use it to clean like your saxophone or whatever.
Sure.
Your sax Monica?
Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. There you go. TV Time with Ted. Mike's got your headlines coming up in minutes. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Ohio man tries to kill bugs with flames, but he burns his house down instead. Meanwhile, Indiana man takes pictures of clam at Shell Festival right before he fled. Wisconsin white supremacist blows himself up while making a bomb. A train carrying 10 million pounds of poop is stuck in town, but you should remain calm. And a man tries to break a tie in the Guinness Book of World Records. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my cock.
All right, our top story. A man that has dreamed of getting into the Guinness Book of World Records is finally getting his chance. He wants to be the man to wear the most neckties at once.
You know what?
Wow.
Go for it, man.
You can do it. Dream.
What is the current record, do we know?
The current record was set in 2016 by Carrie Court, who wore, count them, 270 neckties.
You know, most people just put up a YouTube video or something like, now he's going for the Hall of Fame for that. Congratulations.
I'm just wondering how you get them around your... Like, do you start with really tight neckties and then you basically choke yourself to death just trying to keep them... Because you got to keep them tight without locking off the airway.
Yeah, not locking off the airway, the most important part.
Right.
Well, I don't know that necessarily he's got them like cinched all the way up, though.
True.
And you have to wear them all around your neck? Is he tying them around his leg?
They got a picture of him with some around his neck.
But, I mean, in the end, all right, say you break the record, then, I mean, do you brag about this? You know, think about breaking a record.
You buy the book.
You'd like to impress people. With that, I'd be like, that's stupid.
But still, your name is embedded in history.
Well, I mean, so are serial killers. I'm just saying, some things are worth bragging about. That is not one of them.
Around the world in Ohio, a man was trying to rid his home of the bugs that infested it by using some sort of flame device. And then the unthinkable happened.
The unthinkable?
Unthinkable, Miles.
Unthinkable happened.
I don't care who you did not see what's going to happen.
Okay,
Nobody saw this coming.
So he didn't burn his house down.
He absolutely set his house on fire.
The unthinkable.
Unthinkable.
Miles, you can see the future.
Yes, I can.
Fire crews were called to the house and they put the fire out. Everyone was evacuated with no injuries.
Good times.
But unfortunately, they do need new homes.
All right.
Yeah, I bet they do.
It just...
You talking about the bugs or the people?
Both, I guess.
I wonder if he used one of those, like, kitchen cooking torches.
Oh, like for your creme brulee or something?
Right, exactly.
What else do you use it for?
Smoking dabs?
You can crisp up poultry skin real good.
Oh, yeah. Good call. Or smoked dabs.
Or you can kind of blacken the top of fish real quick if you want to do
I just don't get why anybody resorts to using fire, unless you're outside.
Oh, Mike, it's very easy. Some people are stupid.
I guess. Okay.
And I mean, what are you going to do? Like, unless you burn each individual bug, why would you think that any of that is a long-lasting solution?
Right. I mean, when we cleared my patio of bugs once by using a certain spray that actually just zapped them right out of midair. I have no idea, but it was so toxic to them that it just fell out of air.
Hopefully you didn't
What
breathe
you
that.
said?
Did you breathe that?
No.
Okay, good.
No. It actually says spray it away from yourself and do not
breathe.
Do not
That's
breathe
what we're
this
saying.
crap.
In case you're stupid, don't spray yourself in the face of this.
You're gonna die. In Florida, a man was charged with video voyeurism after he was caught taking a video up a woman's skirt at the local Shell Festival.
Taking a picture of clams.
Yeah. When held by
Shell Festival?
Right? I think they just find shells and then
In Indiana.
Is that the place to go? If
Indiana.
Indiana?
In Indiana? Wasn't it in Indiana?
This is Florida.
Oh, Florida.
He's from
Okay.
Illinois, but it's in
all right.
Florida.
Okay, all right.
You went all the way down there to take pictures of women's skirts, man. Come on. Because, it's too bad they don't just have, like, porn online or something.
Actually, this story has 3 different places. The story comes out of Sanibel, Florida. It says an Illinois man, and later on it says 67-year-old David Staver of Vincennes, Indiana.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was in Indiana. See, I read the story probably in a different source, but for some reason...
He's from an
Okay,
high state.
the Shell Festival is in Florida.
Yeah, that would make more sense than Indianapolis having the best shrimp cocktail in the United States. It still baffles my mind how that happened, but whatever.
When held by authorities, the man claimed that he couldn't help it because she was so beautiful and that it was the first time that he had actually done something like this. But the scores of photos that were found on his computer
Right.
proved otherwise.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they know.
I feel like
arrested
the
and charged.
creepier you are, the more often you are to use the term beautiful.
She was too beautiful,
Right.
making us all look
Beautiful.
good.
Right?
Hey,
She was so beautiful, I just had to see what was up her skirt.
Say, I find you so attractive, I want to do an upskirt shot. It's a compliment.
Just stop, people. Authorities in Wisconsin rushed to a local apartment after reports of an explosion. After a short investigation, it was determined that the man responsible was building the bomb that did the damage when he made a mistake and ended up setting the bomb off prematurely. Nobody else was harmed in the explosion, but many were forced to evacuate their homes.
Yeah, the subject was used. Well, not only were they forced to evacuate their home, there was 10 other families in that
Yes.
apartment building, and whatever he was using, some type of peroxide to make that to make the bomb that killed him. It's toxic. It's kind of like if you had a meth lab or something. So basically, the entire building now needs to be condemned, and everybody's possessions and everything that was in there, they lose
Right.
everything.
Everything's completely gone.
Right. I mean, there's certain possessions I think they can keep, but I can't remember what it was. But it's just like a specialized list of stuff where that stuff doesn't stick to or some crap. I don't know anything about it. All I know is I read it. I was like, God damn! And he was a white supremacist with literature all over his
Right.
apartment,
So he's
too.
not a terrorist.
No.
Okay.
No, not terrorist.
We go to Alabama, where a train has been stalled out for the past 2 months, waiting to transfer to a different site. The reason why this train is causing such an issue is because it is filled with 10 million pounds of human waste.
I didn't know you drive
Literally
that.
a poop train.
Yeah.
It is literally a poop
Where
train.
do you store that?
Well, right now in Alabama.
Because, like, look, the poop, as far as we know, the poop goes into the water, right?
Right.
So
Right.
they're not carrying, like, water liquefied
Yeah,
poop.
where
so what
did
do they,
this poop
what,
come
what do they do?
from?
Do they dry, the turds? and
People
then
that
put them
empty their septic tanks, maybe? That's it for headlines with that. Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time for the return of Ted versus the FCC. Bad jokes, and we'll drink and toast with a shot of the day.
Yes, indeed. It is all true, but in the meantime, we be all about this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.